Let's talk about the keyof operator in TypeScript. So we're continuing with the example from the previous lesson. We have the product interface and the store class. Now let's implement a find method in this class. So we add find and give it two parameters, property and value. With this, we should be able to find any object that has a property with this value, right? Now let's add the annotations. What is the type of property? It's string. What about the value? The value can be anything, but here we don't want to use any because that's a bad practice. Instead, we're going to use unknown. So we pass these values and we either get an instance of t or undefined if there is no object that satisfies this criteria. Now in this method, we're going to use the same technique we used in the previous lesson. So we're going to return this .objects.find. Here we pass a predicate, which is an arrow function. So we take an object and check to see if object of property equals value. Now here we have a compilation error. Don't worry about it. We're going to get back here in a minute. First, let's see how we can use this implementation. So we create a store object, new store of product. Now let's add an object here. So we pass a product with these values, name and price. Okay. Now we can call the find method and pass these values, name and a, or price and 1, right? Now there's a hidden problem here. With this implementation, we can call the find method and pass a non-existing property. And when we run our program is going to crash because there is no product by this name in the product interface, right? So this is where we use the keyof operator to solve this problem. Now, back to the arrow. What is the compiler saying? The compiler is saying no index signature with a parameter of type string was found on type unknown. So because we're using the square bracket syntax, the compiler thinks we're using an index signature property. So earlier I told you that we use index signatures for dynamically adding properties to an object. But in this case, we're not dealing with dynamic properties. We're dealing with actual properties of an object. So let's look at the error one more time. The error is saying no index signature with a parameter of type string was found on type unknown. So to solve this problem, we should tell the compiler, no, we are not using an index signature. We are working with actual properties of type t. And to do that, we just change the type of property from string to key of or property of t. So the property that we pass here can only be one of the keys or properties of type t. So if t is product, then key of t is going to return name or price. So the keyof operator returns a union of properties of the given type. And that is why we can only pass either name or price when calling this method. So if we pass a non-existent property, we're going to get a compile time error. So using the keyof operator, we can catch this kind of issue at compile time.